So most students are scared about maths and NATA. I'm seriously very scared about maths itself. But then maths and NATA, it was a surprise to me when I was writing the exam. But here's the truth, guys. Okay, you don't need advanced maths here. You only need, let's say, 10th grade or 11th, 12th grade of maths for this particular exam, and they are not too detailed also. Let me show you how simple it actually is. So let me give you this small percentage problem, which by now everybody should know this. This is an example what I'm giving. This is not the same. When you look at the question papers, there are sums which you can really follow, and you can really look at the key, and then you can get the answers done. So for example, let's say we need to find out how much is 20% of 250. Okay, so let me give you a very simple explanation. 20% is equal to 20 divided by 100. Now, so what we do is 20 divided by 100 into 250 is equal to 50. So 50 is the answer, which is basically the 20% of 250. But then there are a lot of easier sums also which are there in the question papers, which you can still look at. Okay, now this is where I don't want you to go too much deep. Don't go too much deep into math and get into focus and all that. You need speed, you need accuracy, and you just need to know the basic concepts for answering these questions. Okay, NATA reasoning is not about difficulty, it is about pattern recognition. Pattern recognition is something which we can really do in our daily life. For example, let's say 2, 4, 8, 16, and then what is the next number? It's very simple. What is the pattern here is what you need to find out. So then what happens is each number is multiplied by 2, and then the answer is 32. This is very simple. Now the best thing you can always look for is you need to have a pattern, a repetition, and elimination. Okay, this is what can happen in those particular questions which come with math. Now 3D visualization is something which is the most part where people get confused, but then I'll make it very simple. For example, you have a square placed on a table, let's say a cube. Okay, and then sunlight falls on the cube. What would be the shadow? You place a glass, there is light, what would be the shadow? Or any object which you like, let's say you are having an object like your mobile phone standing on the table. Now you'll need to know how the front side of the mobile phone will look like and the back side of the mobile phone will look like. That's easy. But the toughest part is getting to know how the left hand side profile of the mobile phone looks like and the right hand side profile of the mobile phone looks like. Now this part is very easy. This is the front part, you can draw it. This is the back part, you can draw it. But when you want to know about the left hand side, you need to know what's happening here, and the right hand side, you need to know what's happening here. And then if this question arises, for example, if that is the question about give me all the 4 sides of the mobile and visualize it, you need to draw all the 4 sides in 4 different drawings and show them that these are the 4 sides which a mobile has, and what are the functions in it, what are the buttons in it, and things like that. Now this is what is actually called as object or visualization of an object here. Okay, now let's go to the next one, is speed building techniques. Now NATA is not just about solving, it is about a little bit of faster solving which you need to do. Now we will skip. All you need to do is, if you do not know a particular answer for a question, skip the question, go to the next one, solve the easy ones first, come back to the tougher ones later, and don't get stuck in a particular zone. Just go to the other ones. If you don't know too many questions, just go do the drawing, and then once you've done the drawing, you will have a little bit of free mind where you can think about the other tougher questions and answer them. That is also one thing which you can do. Your score does not come from what you know, your score comes from what attempt you do correctly in the exam. Now aptitude in NATA is not difficult, and that is why this particular part is the most easiest one when it is done right. Architects don't just see things, we observe things in a very different manner. Okay, let's all look at this particular building which we have here, right? Now what do you see? You just see a building and it's a building, right? Yeah, it's there and the building has a lot of people in it. Cool, that's fine. But what an architect sees is the design of the building, and then it also knows the space of the building. Space in the sense, it's not only about the space which is in the internal, but it's also the exterior space. And architects also see the function of the building and why it is like that. And then let's say they see a lot of details in the building, which is the most, let's say, the styled formats or whatever is there. Now this is what NATA is actually testing you for. Observation is equal to noticing all the details in a particular picture, understanding how things are designed, and then connecting function with form. Now for example, let me take a chair. So don't just see it, okay? Ask why is it shaped that way, and then why is the height like this, why is this particular material being used, why is it having big dimensions than a normal chair. So you don't need a classroom to sort of improve observation. Your surroundings or your training ground. Now I'll tell you how to do that. First of all, take exercise 1 for example. Is look at your room wherever you're sitting right now. Look at your room for 1 minute. Okay, look at everything in your room for 1 minute. Okay, you're like this biggest investigator, or you feel like you're the smartest person in the entire world. Look at every detail in your room and close your eyes for 1 minute. Okay, see how many details around you or objects or whatever it might be, even the time in the clock, or your channel in the TV, and the type of switches which are switched on in your particular switch point, and a lot of what is the pattern on your bed sheet which you have in the cot. And then things like this is what you need to remember when you close your eyes for 1 minute, and that is called recalling the details. And this is intense observation. Now exercise 2 is, you need to observe. Let's say go outside and observe and look at a street. Okay, you'll see a lot of people, you'll see a lot of vehicles, and you'll see a lot of activities. Now people, vehicle and activities are just the top part of it. You take all these 3 things out of your street and look at some other things which are present there. It will be very surprising to know that there are a lot of smaller details in your street which you have failed to notice in all these years, even though you've been living in the same street for about more than 20 years. Okay, let me give you another exercise. Exercise 3 is, you pick an object. Okay, you pick an object, analyze shape, light and shadow. This is the most important question which might come to you in NATA. Is basically, for example, let's say we take this mouse. So this mouse, what if light falls from here? Now the light is falling here. Now if the mouse is here, there is shadow falling on my hand here. So you need to 3D observe about an object and sort of give an essence to that. Now these are some exercises which you can really work out, and the more you observe, the better you'll be able to draw and you'll be able to think. So let's start simple. What we'll be doing is, we'll look at an object for about 30 seconds and then draw from only our memory. We will not be drawing from seeing the object by itself, which means we'll not be copying it. We look at the object, we'll observe it, and then we don't look at the object and we just draw what is there in our memory. So don't aim here for perfection, just draw whatever comes in your hand. Just draw whatever. Then you can improve it. Once you do all this, once you do this daily, you'll be able to improve it. Now the aim of this particular exercise is not about perfection in the drawing of the object. It is about how very well you recall accurate details of that particular object. Now that is more beautiful to do. Now applying observation in an exam, how it works. Now observation is not a separate skill, it's a very base decent skill which we all have, and we need to use that to improve our score in NATA. First of all, let's take for drawing. Okay, better details, realistic scenes is more important, it's appreciated. And in aptitude, if you see, faster pattern recognition for a particular mathematical sum or better visualization. Students who observe better are always better performers, because their answer will always be something which is very clever and which is very accurate of an object or a phenomenon or whatever is happening around them in the exact creatability possible on paper. Now this is what you need to do very importantly in this module, which will help you a lot. And then this particular exercises will change your brain. You can practice this daily, and then this will help you to improve your drawing skills as you go by. So when do we need to start the mock tests? Okay, many students wait till the end to do the mock test, the last weekend or whatever. That's the bad thing, that's the worst thing you can do. Don't make that mistake. Start after 3 or 4 weeks of preparation. Let's say, I'm telling you to do it every weekend, Saturday. That is the best thing which you can do for a mock test, because only if you take a mock test you will understand how to answer questions and how to think critically for a question itself. Now the frequency per mock test can be a week, which is good enough for you to take good mock tests and sort of have an understanding of how things are happening there. Okay, now how to attempt a mock test is the creative part here. Okay, now a mock test is not about solving questions, it is about a strategy which you need to have to finish the test itself. So you need to attempt easy questions first. Don't get stuck like how you got stuck in all the exams in school. Manage time between the drawing and each sections in the NATA paper. Okay, First round, easy questions, go for the easy questions, finish it. Second round, moderate questions, finish it. Skip through if you have tough questions, leave it, go do the drawing and then come back to the tough questions. That's the best possible idea which you can do for this particular test. What happens on a post mock system analysis? This is where you need to analyze what's going to happen, right? So this is where most of the students fail, and they give mocks but they don't analyze and learn what is actually happening there. That's the worst thing which you can do to yourself, right? So the system is, after every mock, identify the mistakes, categorize those into concept mistake, drawing mistake, and then mathematics mistake, and then a time issue, you are not able to finish it mistake, and then fix them, because mistakes can't be the same in NATA question paper. For every question there is a different mistake which is happening. That is why I'm categorizing these mistakes for you. Okay, your improvement does not come from these tests, it comes from the analysis of these tests. Okay, this is how NATA works. Now the score improvement plan. Now if your score is low, it's good, don't worry about it. That's where you start learning, because you now know where to improve. Okay, so if you're weak in drawing, practice daily, simple. If you are weak in aptitude, topic wise practice will do a good form for you, so do that. That is more easy. So focus on weaknesses only, score increases automatically for you and you do not need to worry about it. Top mistakes students make, and let me tell you, even if it is a month of struggle or 2 months or 3 months, take this list. Okay, do not ignore the drawing. That's the biggest mistake one you're making. Studying without a plan, mistake 2 you'll be making. If you're not at all taking mock tests, there is no point in studying. That is mistake 3. If you're overthinking too much about the exam and you know what you need to do and all that blah blah blah, don't do that. That's the 4th mistake which you can do. So most students don't fail because they are weak. They tend to do all these simple mistakes which they need to follow. Okay, now how to stay consistent on your daily preparation? Okay, so motivation doesn't last that much, because motivation is very moody, but discipline can last for you. Let's say you don't have to be motivated every day morning to get up and brush your tooth, right? That is something default. You need to wake up, you need to brush, and then you need to do the floss, and then you need to go have breakfast. These are all things which have become default, but once they were something which we need to practice. That is exactly what I'm showing the difference on. No, so what you need to do daily is, you need to fix daily time, set targets, and then track a progress. Now this will aim for perfection and it will aim for more daily completion for you. Avoiding the burnout is more important, because students studying too much is not too smart, guys. I'll tell you, studying consistently is smart. Studying too much is not smart, but studying consistently. Now I want you to take breaks. I want you to study for 2-3 hours only. Don't do it too much, don't overdo it, what I'm telling. Avoid the overload, and then keep studying light but regular. Don't like go intense and then get burnt out on the next day itself. It's not really going to help you on a longer run preparation for NATA. Okay, now what is the smart preparation strategy which you will want to have? Smart students don't study more, they study better. Now I will tell you, focus on the important topics, practice more for the drawing part and all the other parts, read less, and improve the weak areas after every mock test, without which you will not be improving on your let's say the cutoff which you want to do. So efficiency beats effort, guys. That's it, very simple as that. Okay, now this is the exact zone which you were waiting for. Okay, this is where I have a lot of questions in my YouTube videos. If you go see the comments, this is what exactly students have asked me. Okay, let me tell you about the NATA attempt strategy. Okay, understanding multiple attempts. So NATA gives you multiple attempts. That is the only advantage you have. Don't take that for granted. Okay, the best score is considered. Use attempts very strategically, don't overdo them. Okay, when to attempt the first exam? Don't wait for perfection, guys. I'll tell you, do not wait for perfection. If you are 1 week into this, you can take the exam, because you will know the marks, you will know what to answer, you will know what you missed. Or if you want to be a little bit safe, take 1, 2, 3 or even 30 days for preparation and then take an exam if you still have time. Okay, don't worry about it. Now what you want to do is, you want to be ready in the basics, and you need to give a lot of mock tests before you take the first hit itself. Okay, so take mock tests before even you do the first attempt. Now, improving between attempts, what you need to do here, your simple, see, your feedback is what you will need to know even before going into the next attempt itself. So what you need to do here is, you need to analyze the score of your first exam, and then you need to know all the zones where you left out, or you wasted a lot of time thinking, or you did not get the calculation right, or stuff like that. So note down these points, find them out. Improve weaker areas, which you know, drawings or mathematics or logical thinking or analytical parts, and then practice them targeted, where you will understand this is the pattern of solving this question, and this is the pattern of drawing this question, and things like that. Now, what is the final attempt strategy which you need to know is, this is your best shot, okay? This is the last shot you're going to be giving for your entire career. If you're going to be missing this particular last attempt or the final attempt of NATA, you're not going to get into architecture. Your whole entire life's trajectory is going to change to something very different, which you are not going to like, okay? So I want you to stay calm, focus on your strengths, believe in yourself first, okay? Think you can do it. Tell yourself you want to do it and you can do it. Avoid new topics at the end of the preparation. Don't do that. It's fine. Now, confidence comes with preparation and getting to know the mistakes, okay? That's it. So without getting to know the mistakes, you cannot be confident. So that is where I'm telling a lot of mock tests will help you out in this particular attempt strategy plan. Okay? So the college selection strategy is the most important one, why we are doing this, all these exams and coming to this point, right? So clearing NATA is not the end. That is exactly the start of a big career, the next 40-50 years of your life. And it's going to be a very good, beautiful beginning for you, okay? Trust me guys, it's a beautiful thing. Architecture is, it's beautiful, okay? What you're going to do is something which you will have this journey which will start, and then your mind changes, your style changes, you change yourself as a person. A lot of things happen, okay? Now, something which you need to remember is, don't choose colleges randomly. Consider these three things. One is the faculty, the exposure, and the location. So faculty is how good of a college is that, and what is the college, how old is the college, and how is the college going to be of good use for your career once you pass out, or your internships and things like that. Exposure is, get to know how much of trips the college goes. Do they go abroad, or do they go for North India, South Indian trips, and do they have a lot of famous architects, or architects at least in the zone or in the city coming and teaching, or doing some lectures. Get to know that. And location is obviously important for you, but architecture, location doesn't matter. You can go anywhere and do architecture. It's very purely residential, okay? Now coming to the next one is the more important, which is the career roadmap in architecture. Now this is where you have 200 questions for me, right? I know architecture is a long-term game, guys. We all know that by now. Now job is equal to the experience for you, and then practice is equal to the growth, and then the specialization, if you get into the masters, is equal to the higher income. Now this is a thumb rule, but it does not work out very importantly for everybody. Sometimes the more creative you are and the better projects you get, you grow faster. So this also happens. So what are the mistakes you need to avoid after NATA is, after clearing NATA, these are the mistakes you need to be avoiding. First one is you choosing the wrong college. Please don't do that. Unrealistic expectations about architecture. If you're not going to be building the skills after NATA, you are not going to be able to survive in architecture itself. Now NATA is just the entry point for architecture, and what you build after that defines your exact future.